What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fight House, episode 14. It's me, Jason Sutcliffe, here with
Tristan Keddy.
And we got a good show for you today. We're going to kick things off with Holobaugh. In fact, we got a number of guests today from Dana White's Contender series. They're going to be in episode 1, so we got a lot of them to talk to. Holobaugh, we're going to kick things off with him. Dan Ige is going to come on the show. He's going to talk to us about his fight with Luis Ruel Gomez Alvarez. There's a tongue twister for you.
You got it.
But Dan Ige is going to be on the show talking about that. Anyanwu, he's going to be on the show talking about his big fight. That's going to be a good one. He's coming up. Tough guy, man. That's a heavyweight savage.
The man.
Really looking forward to that conversation. Manny Vazquez is going to be on the show talking about his upcoming fight. He's fighting Joby Sanchez. It's going to be a good fight. And we close out the show with Adam Townsend. Really looking forward to it. I always love having Adam on the show. We've had him on twice now. I've talked to him a number of times. It's always a good conversation. So I'm really looking forward to that one. It's a good show, all in all. So stay with us. We're going to be back, and we'll be kicking things off with Holobaugh. Enjoy.
Holobaugh lands a big right hand there, and all Dos Santos could do was just put his guard up and continue to take these strikes. And Holobaugh just continued to land. And right here, if you're not intelligently defending yourself, the referee's got to come in there and stop and help you out.
What's up, Fight House fans? We're back here. We have Holobaugh on the line joining us. He'll be on the Dana White Contender series coming up in July. What's going on, Kurt? Thanks for joining us here at the Fight House. I really appreciate you coming by to spend some time with us.
No, not a problem. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Huge opportunity coming up. You're going to face Matt Bessette on week 1 of the show. When did you first find out about the show?
I found out about the show right at probably 2 weeks after the Titan FC Jay-Z Cavalcanti fight. And my manager just gave me a call and told me the opportunity. Told me I would be headlining it against Matt Bessette. The only key was the fight was at 145 pounds. I've been fighting 155 pounds the last couple of fights. But, it's a big opportunity, and I was already in shape. So, I said, why not? Let's do it.
Absolutely. How do you feel about bouncing back to 145? You were having a run of success there at 155. Are you comfortable going back to that weight?
Yeah, my run at 55 has been, awesome. I've felt great in every single fight. Going back down to 45, as of right now, I don't even know if this is temporary or permanent. We'll have to see after this fight. I was kind of iffy about it at first, but, you got to get your foot in the door however you can.
Sure.
But so far, I was already in shape. So the weight cut, I've been, dieting ever since. And, staying on track, and the weight's looking really good right now.
You look super good in that fight against Cavalcanti. How fresh were you when you came out of that fight?
Oh, I felt great. Every round that we stood back up after the bell, I was bouncing around. I still felt fresh every round. And I think that's the key to my success is just being in shape, because I know I got all the tools, to beat anybody. So.
Definitely, man. You look fantastic in your last performance. Super aggressive, super technical. You look really, really good. Do you prefer to bounce back really quick, or do you like to take generally more time in between your fights before you step back in there? Is this a comfortable situation?
Normally I like a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But being that I was already in such great shape, I've had an incredible training camp for Cavalcanti. That was a championship fight, so everything in that training camp was super intense to get me in shape. And that fight was on a Friday. I was back in the gym Tuesday training. I knew a call was going to come soon, so I was staying in the gym, staying in shape. So I really didn't miss any training time when I got the call for Dana White's Contender series. So I figured, why not? What's a couple more weeks? Hopefully make some more money and get this UFC contract.
Definitely. You've been fighting some main events and stuff, and some pretty big fights as of late. You have worked a long time for this. It's probably the biggest fight of your career, but is it difficult to get up for being in a gym? It's going to be in a tough gym. There's not going to be a huge crowd there or audience. It's not exactly on the main stage. Will that affect you at all when you walk out to perform that night?
I don't think so, because the main factor of this is going to be Dana White.
Right.
That's everybody's goal in this sport, is to tweet Dana White and talk to Dana White and get into the UFC. So being that Dana White's going to be there, he's basically judging your performance. Whether you win or lose, he's going to judge your performance.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody wants to show up and, have the best fighter in life in front of him.
You got to, and the fights are going to be a tough one. You're up there against Matt Bessette, the CES featherweight champion, considered #1 in the Northeast, is a tough guy. How do you see the matchup? How do you feel about the matchup?
I love the matchup, and when they gave me the matchup, I looked him up, watched a few fights on him, and, right then and there, I knew that was a good fight for me.
Why do you say that?
Just basically because he's nothing that I've ever faced before. My last 3 opponents were all high-level opponents. So, and I think my last 3 opponents each did certain things better than Bessette.
Okay.
So, with that being said, just the type of training that I've done really makes me match up with him really good.
Where do you feel like you'll enjoy the biggest advantage in the fight when you see his weaknesses and you've assessed his video? Where do you feel like you'll be strongest?
I think my success is definitely going to come on the feet. I think it's going to be my speed and my pressure. I don't know how well he'll be able to handle that, and that might even force him to try to take me down. Where everybody should know by now that I'm no slouch on the ground either.
Absolutely. Do you feel like, being where he's been, that he hasn't faced the competition that you like, your level of competition, or faced anyone like you yet? Do you feel like you're going to be something completely different for him?
I know he's faced some tough guys in Bellator. I think he's fought Daniel Weichel and lost the decision to him. But outside Daniel Weichel, he hasn't fought no Jay-Z Cavalcantes or a bunch of UFC vets that I know of. So, don't get me wrong. I don't underestimate anybody. He's there for a reason. I know he's a tough guy, and I wouldn't be fighting him if he wasn't a tough guy.
Definitely.
But, I think, right now I think I'm one of the best in the world, and, each time I step in the ring, I'm there to prove that.
How do you, when you visualize this fight, how do you see the fight ending? How do you see yourself finishing the fight?
I kind of see the fight ending the same as I did against Cavalcanti and Sendanya. I'm going to put the pressure on him, and I'm going to force him to make some mistakes. And once he makes mistakes, I'm going to put him away.
Knowing that it's Dana White's going to be sitting right there, and this is such a huge fight, and there's a lot on the line. Do you feel pressure to go out there and finish the fight?
Not really. The most important thing is just getting the win.
Right.
Get the win and everything else will come, whether it's a shitty performance, whether it's a good performance. But every time I look back, I don't think I've ever had a bad performance. So even if I didn't for some reason get the finish, I know the performance will be good, and I guarantee the fight will be good as well.
This is what I'm really looking forward to, man. Both your guys' styles, it's going to make for such a great fight. What is your mindset heading into this fight? Do you feel like, this is my last kick at the can at the UFC? Like, where's your head at in regards to that? And are you feeling any kind of pressure because of it?
I don't feel pressure, and the reason why I don't feel a lot of pressure right now is because, I never thought for one second a guy like me would have the opportunities that I've gotten in this sport. I'm just a small town kid. You read about this all the time, small town kids making it big places, So, I kind of feel like I'm not even supposed to be here anyway. But, I'm here, and, they better watch out because I'm coming.
Deal. Once you win this fight, will you consider what do you want to do? What's your preference? Staying at featherweight or moving back up to lightweight? What would you prefer if it was up to you?
I really enjoy lightweight. For one, I'm not a small lightweight. Anybody that's seen some of the last fights, I think I've been the bigger lightweight out of everybody that I've fought recently. I think Pat Healy might have been the only lightweight that was probably a little bit bigger than me. And he's just a big lightweight in general. He cuts a lot to make lightweight.
Yeah, he's huge.
So with that being said, just think about how big of a featherweight that I am. I'm a really big featherweight, and I've never really had terrible fights at featherweight. I've fought tough guys. I fought Andre Harrison, which is the World Series champion and Professional Fight League now champion.
Super tough.
I flew to Russia and fought Struggle Kostalayev, which was the guy was taking everybody out in Bellator, won the Bellator tournament, just never could come back for visa problems. So, and then in the UFC, I lost to Steven Seiler, who's no slouch at that time as well.
Yes.
So, man, and they're all lost by decision. Not like anybody absolutely destroyed me.
No, for sure, definitely. Listen, I really want to thank you for taking some time to come and talk to us. I'm really looking forward to this fight with Bassett. I think it's definitely suited to be where it is on the card as the main event. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna give you a quick second here. If there's anybody you want to thank or any sponsors you want to shout out, man, take a minute to do so. Want to see you get paid, right? and go for it, man. And then that'll be that.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Is there anybody you want to shout out? Any sponsors? Anybody in particular?
Yeah, for sure. For starters, thank my team, Gracie United Team Junkai South. My management company, Sucker Punch Entertainment, some of my sponsors, K-Ray Construction, Alienware, Direct Vapor. Every one of those guys has been backing me for the last couple fights and looking forward to doing big things in the future with me. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much for giving us some of your time. You're always available, and I really appreciate that. Like I said, we're really looking forward to the fight. So best of luck, man, and I'll be tuned in.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Have a great night. I'm really glad to see him getting his shot, man. Mm-hmm. This is a guy that I've thought for a long time, just deserved to have that other crack, Well,
we were talking about before about how UFC maybe been neglecting some of the prospects and some of these guys. So I'm glad that Dana White's. You said it was a separate thing from the UFC though, actually, but
yeah, he got his promoter's license, so it's his.
I'm sure that at the end of the day, these guys will be fighting in the UFC.
Of course,
it's
definitely suited for that. It's just he went out and got his own. He separated it from the UFC by getting his own promotion.
But it's great to see some of these guys. We've been talking to them for the last 3-4 months and seeing some of them get an opportunity they've been talking about is great.
Yeah, a whole slew of them, man. I'm looking forward to this show a lot. A lot of people we've talked to are on the show, so it's get a little invested interest there. You want to see how people do, and then
I'm excited.
I'm really excited for it. We're gonna be back with Dan Ige. He'll be up too. He's gonna be fighting Luis Ruel Gomez Alvarez. And they'll be also competing on episode 1 of Dana White's Contender Series. So we're going to be back with Dan Ige in a few minutes. So stay with us, folks. Talk to you in a few.
There we go. There's the action there from our opening bout this evening at Titan FC here. Danny Ige taking on Ronaldo Braga. Lots of takedown attempts. Great job by Braga getting back to the feet. Obviously, the pressure was put on there by Ige. And in the end, he emerges victorious by unanimous judges' decision.
What's up, Fight House fans? We're back with Dan Ige. How you doing, Dan? He's going to be a contestant on Dana White's Contender Series. Thanks for joining us. Hope all's well. How's everything, Dan?
Yeah, everything's good. Good to hear from you guys, and excited to be on the show.
Definitely, man. I'm really looking forward to this Contender Series. I'm really psyched about it. How did you find out you were being recruited for the Dana White Contender Series?
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting because I fought on the Dana White Looking for a Fighter show.
Okay.
They had a show in California, and they didn't pick me to be in the UFC. I had a pretty tough fight, but it was good, and I won. And I had another fight right after that in Florida for Titan. And right after my fight, they called me and said if I want to be on the show. So it was awesome.
Are you at all, Titan 44 wasn't that long ago, May 19th. Are you at all concerned with the lack of prep time, or is this something you're comfortable with?
No, not at all. For me, I love staying active, and just this getting a quick rebound, especially coming off a win with no injuries. I'm 100% ready, and I like to stay ready, so it's going to be good.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
So let's hear.
You're going to be stepping in there with Luis Ruel Gomez Alvarez. There we go. I got to get that.
Yeah, he has
there.
like 2 last names.
Yeah. What do you know about him as an opponent?
There's not too much tape out there on him. He's from what I know, just from word of mouth, he's a tough guy, judo striker.
Right.
So, I'm looking forward to a good scrap. He's gonna come out there, try to pressure me, and that's how I fight. I come out there and try to knock guys' heads off, and You know, it's going to be a good fight.
I mean, granted that there's not much on him, like with what you've seen, where do you feel like you're going to have advantages in this fight?
Sorry, say that again. You're cutting out a little bit.
Sorry about that. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I could hear you.
Okay. I said even though there's a limited film on him, from what you've seen, where do you feel like your advantages will be in this fight?
My advantage is just going to be putting the pressure on him and putting a pace that he can't stand. You know, I'm going to go in there, take his best shots, and continue to walk him down and put a pressure on him that he can't handle. So, I think the grind is what's going to win this fight, and I know how to endure that grind.
You know, how do you see the fight ending? I mean, visualization, I know it's a huge thing with most fighters. I'm sure you practice it. How do you see the fight ending?
It's hard to say, man. Every time I stand there, I want to go in there and knock a guy out. But
Right.
when you look for the knockout, you know, you don't get it. It's the least expecting shot that gets that knockout. And so I'm going to go in there, of course, obviously try to finish the fight. But at the end of the night, my main goal is to get my hand raised.
Right. Well, you know, with being in a situation like this where, you know, it's a huge opportunity, Dana White's sitting there, he's watching you fight. Do you feel pressure to get the finish, or is it just like, hey, I'll take what comes to me? What's your approach?
No, there's no extra pressure, you know, because it's in front of Dana or anyone else. It's a fight. I'm going to go in there and I got to just be relaxed and slow. When I'm timid, you know, I'm not going to get what I want when I go in there and I'm too timid. So I just got to go in there. It doesn't matter if it's in front of 4 people or 50,000 people. I'm going to go in there and fight my fight. And as long as I can be relaxed and loose and responsive, I'm going to go in there and finish this fight for sure.
You know, knowing he's undefeated and these fights count towards your record, do you feel any extra motivation knowing you could take someone 0 from them? Does that matter to you at all?
Yeah, that's cool, I guess. I mean, I fought a lot of guys. At my second fight, I fought a guy that was 5-0 at 5 knockouts. I went in there, I finished him in the first round. So taking that 0, you know, it doesn't mean a lot to me, you know. But the last guy after that I fought was 6-0, and I beat him, gave him a 0. So this guy's about to be 4-1.
I like it. I like the confidence, man. You've been in tougher fights, fought what seems to be the better competition. Do you feel like that will be a factor in the fight?
Yeah, I think experience goes a long way. I mean, I have this is my 9th professional fight. I have 10 amateur fights, so this is my 20th fight. It doesn't matter, amateur, pro, they're all fights. It's all ring time, you know, time on the mat. So I feel when I get in that cage, I'm a veteran.
How much did your amateur experience help you as a pro?
It definitely helped a lot. You know, I grew up in Hawaii, and everyone out there knows how to fight pretty well. So that, like I said, some of my amateur fights were actually my tougher fights, just going through, you know, a lot of adversity and going in there with guys who like to bang. And, I started out wrestling and doing jiu-jitsu, and everyone in Hawaii usually, you know, come from a kickboxing background. So I had to deal with a lot, you know, especially from the stand-up aspect. But I'm definitely well-rounded now, and I'm confident in every area of the game.
Yeah, this is a fight I'm looking forward to, man. It looks on paper, it looks like it's going to be a good one. 2 young guys battling it out. It's one I'm looking forward to.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Knowing what's on the line, being that you're only 25, you know, you got time left in this game. Do you feel like, you know, this is like last kick at the can at the UFC, or do you feel like any pressure like that?
No. You know, I mean, like you said, I'm 25 years old. I'm going to go in there and this is just another fight for me. Win, lose, or draw, I'm going to go in there and give it my all, you know. I never like to visualize me losing, so I don't even like to put that in my head. And it doesn't matter, though. I'm going to go in there and just, you be the best I can.
Definitely. That's all you can do, really, right, is go in there and do what you do.
Yeah.
And you say, you don't visualize yourself losing, but you do have a single loss in your record. How important is that loss to your growth as a fighter?
You know, it sucked the night of the loss, but you know what? That was the best thing that happened to me because I experienced being humiliated in front of my friends, my family. You know, expected to go in there and knock the guy out, and I had a lot of expectations that I didn't meet, and it sucked, and I had to live with that. And then after that, I dealt with some injuries, and I was out for a long time. So it just, that loss ate at me, and every time I go, check my share dog, I see that red, that loss, and it just motivated me to, not feel that again. And I've won 5 fights in a row since then, and I don't plan on losing anytime soon.
Deal, man. Listen, I want to thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time to talk about the fight, and it's one I'm looking forward to. I'll be tuned in for sure. I want to wish you all the best in the cage. And also, man, I'll give you a quick minute here. If there's any sponsors or anybody you want to shout out, man, go ahead and get paid. Do your thing. Is there anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank all my sponsors that supported me from the beginning. Alienware has been great, On It, Auto Shopper, Vaporfy, Direct Vapor, all great companies. And, going into the UFC, I'm going to be wearing this Reebok, but I'm going to be supporting these guys because they supported me since day one. And I want to thank my management company, Sucker Punch Entertainment, Brian Butler, Ali Abdelaziz, great guys, that they've been helping me from the beginning of my career and just guided me in the right path. And also want to thank my beautiful wife, Savannah. She's been super awesome, supporting me throughout my career as well. So that's it.
Awesome, man. Listen, again, thank you very much for giving us some of your time. I know you guys are super busy. It's a huge opportunity. So, I appreciate you making time for us. Thank you very much, and hopefully we can talk to you again on the show.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely, man. Have yourself a great night. Thanks, Dan.
You too. Bye.
He's a guy I haven't seen too much of, if I'm being completely honest. I did watch a few of his fights or whatever, but I haven't seen too much of him.
I was researching him earlier and doing all the fonts and everything, getting ready for the show. And
shit, he looks tough, man.
Yeah, he's a pretty tough guy.
He looks tough.
I'm just wondering, how much do you think of a loss will be in this Contender series? How much do you think it will mean to these fighters as far as their record goes? And
I think there's a number of fighters that are in different places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like this guy, like one of them's 22, one of them's 25, right? And then a couple of guests we have on later, like they're 35.
Yeah.
It's a very different situation. You know what I mean? If you're fighting on the Contender series at 22, you could lose, and then by the time you're 25, you could have rang off, Yeah,
it's more of a you can use it as a growing experience.
Yeah, like you could ring off 12 victories in a row and be in the UFC and everything's fine. If you're 35, you probably don't have that kind of time. You know what I mean? Whether you're going to acknowledge that pressure or not, I'm sure it's very real. Like
I'm very curious. I'm curious what the production value is going to be like. I'm wondering what it's going to like. Have you seen any previews for it?
Apparently, it's going to be in the Tough Gym. It's going to be in Vegas in the Tough Gym. Handful of crowd. Nothing huge.
So similar to the Ultimate Fighter.
Similar, yeah. But it's going to be live fights, 5 of them every week.
Yeah.
And I think that it's more immediate. Which is, I think it feeds into people better, what people want to see.
Yeah.
They don't want to see this whole 6-week process every week. They want to see the fights. They want to know who won. They want to know who's moving forward. They want to know who needs to go back and rebuild. That's what they want. They don't want all this extra. Yeah. It's like, let's see the fights. You know what I mean?
I wonder how the Titan FC brass feel about this, I wonder.
What do you mean?
As far as just like, this is direct competition with these smaller
yeah, no, I mean these
stables.
guys have also made their name at Titan and stuff.
Oh, for sure. No, for sure.
I think with Titan it is what it is. Like these. But
Dana also has guys coming in from other places too, right? So
sure, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But they've they've accepted their place as being the feeder league, right?
Yeah.
They've pride themselves on it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it'll affect them too much, especially since it's like seasonary. I don't think it'll be all year. I think it'll be like more seasonal, right?
Fair enough.
But. Yeah, so listen, and anyway, we're gonna be back next with Azuna and Anyanwu. Anyanwu? Yeah, I think that's it. Some of these names are difficult.
They call him Zulu.
They call him Zulu. There you go. So we're gonna be back, and we're gonna be talking to him about his heavyweight tilt coming up on the Dana White Contender Series. So we're looking forward to talking with him. We'll be back in a few minutes. Everybody, stay tuned.
Gentlemen, this bout was stopped at 3 minutes and 57 seconds in the first round. Winner by knockout out of the red corner, Zoo, the 8th wonder of the world, Anyanwu.
What's up, Fight House fans? We're back with Zoo Anyanwu. How you doing? Zoo, he's going to be a contestant on Dana White's Contender Series. We're looking forward to the fight. How's everything going, Zoo? Thanks for joining us, man.
Man, everything's good, man. It's got to practice. I'm well.
Good, good. Glad to hear it. Training's going well. Everything's going well in preparation.
Oh, the preparation is good, man. Staying healthy, staying, fresh every day. Getting that good training at the NPR. That's what I do. Just train, train some more.
Definitely, man. I know. I hear you. What was your reaction when you first found out about your spot on the Dana White Contender Series?
I was like, kind of, oh, damn, I'm finally in. Then I was like, I heard the stipulations. I'm almost in.
I hear you.
It was okay. Just another fight, man.
Sorry, what was that?
Just another fight, really. It's an opportunity to get in. I guess a lot of people got the opportunity. The high prospects got the opportunity. It's a good opportunity to go in front of Dana and Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard and impress.
Do you feel any added pressure going fighting in front of those guys with everything on the line?
No, I fought in front of Dana before. He came on the AC for looking for a fight.
Right.
No pressure. I did what I had to do, in and out. There'll be no pressure on me. Just to say, just go in, trash the guy, get my money, leave.
I like the confidence, man. I like that. You're facing Greg Rebello. How do you feel about that matchup that you drew?
He's good. He's good. I feel good about it. I feel like I match up against him. Basically, righty versus southpaw. He has a big left, has a big right. Whoever gets you first, basically.
True story. You're a heavy striker. You come in with your own. Where do you feel like you're going to enjoy the biggest advantage in this fight?
I don't know. I can beat him anywhere. I can beat anybody anywhere. He's a good fighter, but he's not going to be good on that day that we fight. He's going to be just okay, but I'm going to be great. But I match up good everywhere,
Does this feel like just a matter like it's like an about time moment for you, like having this moment to fight in front of Dana and with the UFC shot on the line? Are you feeling more like it's about time?
Yeah, it's about time, man. If you follow me at all, if you know about me, you would say it's about time. A lot of people say that it's about time. That's all I get. That's about time.
Right.
It should be like a catchphrase. I say it's about time. But I feel it's the right time. I'm mature. I know the game. I'm at the top of my game right now. I'm in my prime. So it's actually a good time. Not even about time. It's a real good time for me.
Yeah, man. You've really come into your own. You're riding a big win streak. Yeah, everything seems to be working. 5 of your last 6 fights have all been 5-round title fights. You've gone the full 5 rounds before. This one being 3 rounds. Do you feel like that will give you an advantage and allow you to kind of push the pace, knowing that you only have to go for 15 minutes?
Yeah. Man, I've been in like a couple 5-round title fights, man. 3 rounds ain't really shit to me.
Right.
My cardio's crazy. It's funny when people are like, oh, nobody's use cardio. I'm like, you talking about these 5 rounds? They get stronger as the rounds go. I don't fatigue. So these heavyweights nowadays, they get tired after like 2 minutes.
Right.
3 rounds it's easy. 3 rounds is really easy to me.
When you approach a situation like that, does this allow you the freedom to kind of like step on the gas right from go, as opposed to maybe like easing into it over a round or two? Are you feeling like it's just gas?
Yeah, I can go from the jump now. Like I can go hard for 3 rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds, but like now I don't got to coast. I can just go full blast and do what I want to do in there. It's my world in there, man. 3 rounds is nothing. I'm waiting to get, a 5-round fight again. So.
No, absolutely. And with Rebello doesn't have the same experience as you when it comes to these 5-round fights. How much of a factor do you think this is going to play in the fight?
Well, I guess he has the experience of 3-round fights. You know, I think he might have been in like maybe 1 5-round fight, maybe 2.
Yeah.
But it didn't last the whole 5. I mean, heavyweights, you know, takes one punch, man, to change everything. You know, so we're not flyweights who go, you know, or Batman. The rounds really don't matter to us. I mean, I can wear somebody down if I really want to.
Yeah.
And dance on them, you know. But, you know, you got to impress now. Everybody's not guaranteed that contract in that Contender series, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not guaranteed. So they're not looking for you to dance in there and last 3 rounds or whatever. They're looking for you to win impressively, you know?
Yeah. That's exactly why I was asking you about stepping on the gas right from the start, because it kind of gives you that freedom to go in there and just go for it. You know, just go to the wall, which I think is interesting for you.
I can go through 3 rounds and then be like, oh, he's not good enough. I don't know if you want him.
Yeah.
You know? You know, I fought a fight the night before, knocked the guy out in the 2nd round. Still didn't get picked up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I got a big chip on my shoulder.
Right.
So,
and when you look at the UFC's heavyweight division right now, like it's not in the best shape it's been, you know, historically. Like it's right now it's going through a bit of a hurt phase. Do you see this as like your opportunity to like get in there and make some noise?
this is it, man. I mean, this is like the right year to step in the heavyweight division for the UFC right now.
Definitely.
They need new faces in there. The same guys fighting over and over again, you know?
Yeah.
I can go in there and compete with the 10 in the world right now. Just off my experience alone, I want better records than most of the guys in the top 10. I can shake it up in that division, man. I can do some things there.
When you see this opportunity, you know it's on the line, and do you start eyeballing the division a little bit and see what could be waiting for you and what you want if that door opens?
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, it's door open. I can see. You know, if I get in, I can challenge for the title within a year if I stay active. You know, if I stay doing what I'm doing. You know, you just gotta be the right marketable person and have the right opportunity when you get in.
Right.
I don't want them. I don't want them to baby me in there. I want them to send me to the Sharks. You know, I want the heavy hitters.
You know, at this point of your career, at 35, does this feel like the last kick at the can for you to make the UFC main stage? Like you've talked about having good performances and not getting picked up. Do you get that feel like this is the one? This is my one shot.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, for the UFC, yeah, I say, you know, I mean, there's other promotions out there, but
yeah.
For the UFC, yeah. I mean, this is it. This is big right here, man.
This
is
it.
big. This big things after this.
Definitely.
Regardless of somebody gets picked up or not, this is big things after this.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a huge stage, a huge light on you, man. Are you motivated by that, by knowing that like this is it, like for the as far as the UFC anyway is concerned? Like, is that a motivating factor for you?
Yeah. Motivation, you know, I'm going to the West Coast traveling. Like, this is the farthest I ever fought, fighting in Vegas. You know what I mean? Fighting in Vegas, man. You know what I mean? Like, I've been fighting in the CFFC forever. I'm like, yo, about time. Like, you see my hashtag tag out there, like, Freeze, what's up?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Farthest I fought was like Atlantic City. I'm like, yeah, let's go to Vegas and get known in the West. You know, I'm already known in the East.
Sure.
I'm trying to be international, man. I'm trying to be like worldwide. I'm trying to be huge.
If you could pick any, you know, you win this fight, you move on, you know, the door opens for the UFC. Who would you want your first fight? If you could pick your first fight, who would you pick off the heavyweight roster?
Who would I pick? Man, really anybody top 5. Top 5. I pick anybody.
Awesome.
Top 5, top 10. Yeah, I pick anybody. I mean, of course, they can't get challenge for the title right away. I mean, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. But sometimes it does. You just never. The opportunity just comes and you have to take it. You know.
This is true. You know.
Can't say no.
You know, I'm a guy that wants to see some fresh faces in the heavyweight division. I think the UFC's thirsty for it, man. I really hope that you get your opportunity to get in there and bang out a little bit. And I look forward to seeing your fight on the fight series, on the Contender series. Good luck, and it's one I'm going to be tuning in for sure. Heavyweights, I always love a good heavyweight tilt, man. Then I want to thank you for spending some time with us here at the Fight House and giving us some of your time. I know you're a super busy guy. Do you want to take 30 seconds to shout out any sponsors or any people?
Yeah, I'd like to thank, of course, my friends, my family, my training partners, always coming through. NPR Endurance, the hottest training facility right now in Philadelphia area, Bucks County. My sponsors, the Real Scruples, HQ, Healthy Plate Meal Prep, of course, Matt Howard. We're just going to do it on July 11th in Vegas. And we're going to, kick off the premiere show of the Contender Series, right? And you're going to see a new face in the division.
I can't wait, man. I wish you all the luck in the world in the fight. Thanks for giving us some more of your time, man. And hopefully we can talk to you after the fight.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your night, sir.
You too, bud.
Later. Good heavyweight tilts, man.
I was just thinking about it. Is there anything better in all of sports than like a motivated heavyweight fight in the octagon or in the cage?
Or
there's
just,
nothing better.
To me, the part that really gets me wound up is when I hear heavyweights start talking about their cardio.
Yeah, it's true.
Man.
It's gonna be a great fight
because there's what was the most impressive thing about Cain Velasquez?
Yeah, you go forever.
Cardio.
You can't stop him.
He crushed
Terminator.
Just crushed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming forward. I'm never stopping ever.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, just you know what I mean. And when you can get a heavyweight that's like, yo, I can go for days. Like, let's go. And you're just like, oh man, there's nothing as exciting as
just
a
knowing
heavyweight.
that any second that somebody's going to sleep.
Yeah.
It's happening. It's just somebody's gonna go to sleep.
Man, listen,
the best.
I can't wait for that fight. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the whole show, to be honest. I love the layout of this show. I love what the show is about. I love what they're trying to do.
Something fresh, something is needed.
Oh, my God, yeah. And
that's the best part about the sport. It's that, you get something new every once in a while. That's what was best about it.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
But listen, I really enjoyed talking with Zoo. Definitely going to be tuned in. But we still have some guests left to get talking to, and we're looking good. So we're going to be back with Manny Vazquez. I'm really looking forward to that conversation. He's a super young talent. Should be an interesting talk. So we will be back. Please stay with us. Next time you'll see us, we'll be with Manny. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And Judge Kelvin Caldwell, 29-28. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Manny Vazquez.
Sounds about right.
What's up, Fight House fans? We're back with Manny Vazquez. He'll be taking part in Dana White's Contender series going against Joby Sanchez. What's going on, Manny? Thanks for joining us here at the Fight House. Glad to have you.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How's everything been, man? How's camp and everything as you prepare?
It's been busy. I just got back from Vegas last week.
Yep.
They had me doing, media and medicals and all that stuff. Got the fight on about 4 weeks' notice, so I've just been trying to train as hard as possible, get a short little campaign, and be ready to go. I'm always in pretty good shape, so should be fine.
How do you feel about the preparation? Are you okay with a quick turnaround or a little prep, or would you have preferred to have more prep?
Honestly, I'm okay with a quick turnaround because I feel like when my camp's too long, you start getting injured, you start getting just mentally drained. You're getting beat up for 8 weeks, and the best dude doesn't show up on fight day. All my best performances I've basically fought on 3 or 4 weeks notice, so should be fine.
So that's got to give you a little bit of confidence as you're heading in.
Yeah, for sure.
When did you find out about the Contender series?
What is it? I found out 2 weeks ago. Just about 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what was your first thoughts when you found out you were going to get a spot?
I was driving, and I got a text from Nick Maynard asking if I could make weight by the 11th. Almost crashed the car, but I was like, yep, I'm going to make it. And, that was it. Pretty excited, wasn't expecting it right then, so some good news.
Definitely. How do you feel about the matchup you drew against Joby?
I think it's a good matchup. I think he's exciting. He's tough. He's got some experience, but honestly, I think I've beaten better guys than he has, and I don't think he's going to show me anything I haven't seen before. I think he's scrappy. He moves around a lot. He's got pretty good jiu-jitsu, but I think I should be able to. I think stylistically, I match up pretty well with him.
Where do you feel like you're going to enjoy your biggest advantage in the fight?
I think I got a couple advantages. I think, I've got a huge reach on him. I feel like I'm going to be way stronger than him. I know my wrestling's better than his. And honestly, I think my jiu-jitsu is way better than his too. So I got to look out on the feet. He's gonna come forward. When he commits to punches, he really, he tries to take you out of there. But he leaves himself kind of exposed when he does that. So I see a couple different things I'll be able to take advantage of.
So are you going to be trying to implement like a Matador approach, like more of a counter offense?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say like that's what I want to do, but for sure, I just got to stay composed. Pick my shots and take my opportunities when they come. Because I know he, with his style, he seems to at certain points he gives up certain opportunities that I'm going to be able to take advantage.
Sweet. How do you see the fight ending when you visualize things?
I honestly, it's either going to be, I'm either going to beat him up all 3 rounds and he's just going to be there surviving, or I'm going to probably take him out before the 3rd with a submission. But, yeah, you never know.
You've been at bantamweight, you're dropping down to flyweight. Was this a matter of opportunity, or was this something that you've been planning on for a while?
It's something me and my coaches have talked about for a while. My last 2 fights were at 130.
Right.
And I kind of made that weight without, any real help. I kind of did that all myself, my nutrition, all myself. And this time, my management, Sucker Punch, Brian Butler, got in touch with George Lockhart.
Yeah.
And, he's the best in the business. So he's been working with me to get our weight down to a manageable spot for this weight cut. So I should be able to make it no problem.
How different is that for you in your preparation to have somebody else handling all of that and allowing you to kind of be able to focus on the fight more? How have you felt about that change?
I love it. I love it. I love not having to have my mind on so many different things, It's great. I got great management. I got, the best nutritionist helping me out. And, all I got to worry about is training and winning. And it's huge. How
tough is the weight cut been for you previously?
I've had, it depends when, but I've had terrible weight cuts, where, when I fought for Legacy the first time, they called me on 3 weeks notice. I was in the middle of eating some Olive Garden, and they called me, and I was walking around well overweight, and I just, had to make it. I was in pretty rough shape from weigh-ins, but I made it happen. I've had some tough ones, but then I've had some other cuts to 35 that have been super easy, so it all depends.
When you go
preparation time I have and doing it smart.
Definitely. When you get through situations where the weight cut is extremely tough, and you come out with a victory and you go in there and you put on those performances, what does that do for your confidence when you're in a situation like you're in now and the preparation just seems to be super easy and flowing? Do you draw on that?
Yeah, it's huge for your confidence because, if everything goes wrong, coming into a fight, you still come out on top. You know that, anything can happen. You can have the best, you've seen 1,000 times, you can have the best camp in the world and then end up going out there and getting knocked out in a minute. Or you can go out there and have a shitty camp, everything going wrong, and, have the performance of your life. So it doesn't faze me if I have a rough weight cut, whatever, things happen. And honestly, I don't think it means much coming the time of the fight.
Obviously, assuming that you come out of this fight victorious, and you move on through to the UFC, will you stay at flyweight, or you want to move back up to bantamweight? What would be your preference?
It's going to depend on how I feel at this weight class. I'll see how I feel after this fight, after I get this win. Depending on how rough it was, how I feel we'll see what I want to do. But I'm going to stay at, if it's easy, I'm going to stay at 25 as long as possible. I feel like I'm still growing a little bit. I'm still, getting a little more muscle. I'm only, 23, and I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do it. But I think for now I should be fine. I want to make a run at 25 while I can.
Is this ideal for you, or would you have rather had a fight at 25? Like, obviously hindsight being 20/20, you didn't know you were going to get this call, but Would you have rather had a fight at 125 before taking this opportunity on?
No, I mean, I was playing around with it. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's never a perfect scenario. Yeah, I would have. It doesn't really matter. I made 130. I have to lose 4 more. I did that on myself. I did that without anybody's help. I did that just, trying to make smart decisions, on myself. And now, I mean, I got the best guy helping me out to make it. So if I can't make the weight like this, I was never supposed to make the weight. So
true.
Yeah, so it should be no problem.
So yeah, having a guy like that kind of alleviates any pressures or concerns. Right. I'm assuming. Yeah, definitely. How much pressure do you feel with everything that's on the line in this fight? I mean, you're still relatively young, so you have a lot of years left. This isn't like a last kick at the can scenario for you. But are you feeling the pressure of everything that's on the line with this fight?
There's pressure, but like you said, I don't feel any more pressure than usual. It's another fight. I mean, it's a huge opportunity. I've had huge opportunities before. Like you said, I'm young. I got time, and I'm gonna win this fight. I'm gonna get my shot, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm not stressing about it. I'm gonna go out there, enjoy the experience, and fight.
How much?
What happens? And I'll be all my life, so it'll be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. You were gonna have a 4-inch height advantage. I wasn't able to get an exact reach for you, so I'm not sure what the reach advantage is gonna be. But given your height advantage, and he'll have to punch up and stuff, I'm assuming inside the cage you're gonna have a few inches of reach advantage. How important is it gonna be for you to use those every inch of those to your advantage?
I definitely. I don't want to sit there and just trade in the pocket with him. I want to keep my range, and beat him up, frustrate him, make him start making not so smart decisions, and then take advantage of it. So I'm absolutely, use every.
Sorry, you kind of went away on me there. What did you say?
No, I said, it's definitely, a huge advantage, and I plan on, making the most of it, frustrating him and making him make mistakes.
Knowing with a win, what's at stake, like, your shot in the UFC or most likely your shot in the UFC, have you started to eyeball the divisions in the UFC and kind of see where you fit in and what might be waiting for you?
Yeah, I mean, 25 or 35, I already know I can beat a lot of those guys in the top 15. I got wins over somebody that's already in the UFC. And that's 35. At 25, I think I can smash the majority of those dudes. So right now, and I'm very confident, going into this. I'm very confident in what the future holds.
What are your goals for the future? I mean, like I said, you're 23. This opportunity is knocking on the door. You haven't hit your prime yet. You still got a lot of growth to do. Do you have any bigger picture goals and like time frames for yourself?
Goals? I mean, the goal make as much money as I can while I'm young. The sport.
Sure.
If I can, win fights. Big wins. Win. That's about it. I mean, I think I'm doing it. I'm on the right path to accomplish what I want. The UFC, I'm knocking on the door right now, so everything's going right. I've already held a major title in MMA, so I've got that on my checklist. Either I'm getting my UFC shot or I'm getting a couple more of those titles and then my UFC shot. So either way, it's going to be good, and all good things are coming.
Absolutely. Listen, man, I want to thank you for spending some time with us here at the Fight House and giving us some of your time. I know you're a busy guy. The fight is fast approaching. I'll give you a quick minute here, man. If there's any sponsors or anybody you want to thank, go ahead and take a minute to give thanks.
Thank my team, MTC, Team 110, Tech Planet Lombard, my management, Sutcliffe Entertainment, all my family and friends, my sponsor, Hypnotic, and thanks for everybody that helps me out to get here.
Awesome, man. Like I said, thank you for giving us some of your time, and I wish you all the best in the cage, all the luck, and hopefully we can have you back on the show, man, after the show, and we can talk about it.
Sounds good, man.
All right, buddy. Have a great night, eh? Thanks, Manny.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. He's a big guy, man. 5'10" for bantamweight.
I was gonna say again. I was doing the fonts and doing prep for the show, and out of all the guys so far that I've seen, I haven't seen them all yet, but he definitely seemed to have the most well-rounded, the best package as far as striking and ground game.
Kid too, 23.
If man, if he can make 125 pounds, like, it's going to be nuts. Like I told you, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the opponent I was watching this fight, and his opponent was complaining about the size. Like, I need a real 135 pounder. And he's just, you know what I mean? Just like complaining about he's too long. You know, it's like, I shouldn't be able to fight somebody. So like the height difference is insane.
Yeah,
he's just complaining, but still.
Man, this happens. You know, like I still draw back on it because one of the craziest like mismatches I've seen as far as size goes has to go back to Yair Rodriguez and BJ Penn.
Oh, yeah.
It was just ridiculous.
Yeah. No,
it was ridiculous. He looked like a full 2 weight classes above BJ Penn.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, when you have a guy like this where it's the height advantage doesn't really matter that much. He's good no matter what. So if he can make that weight, and like you said, if he can maintain that through a little bit older age, he should be pretty effective at the UFC level. I think if I had to say early on, if I had to pick somebody, he'd definitely be one of them for sure.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to this show, man. There's so many young guns coming, and I'm so glad that we get a chance to talk to them, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, like, we're going to be back with Adam Townsend. We'll talk about what went on in Russia this weekend. His fight was canceled. We'll let him get into that. He says he has some big news. So I'm looking forward to that. Everyone stay tuned, man. We'll be back with Adam Townsend. Always a good guest, always a good interview. I'm looking forward to it. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back.
For your winner by TKO, Adam Primetime Townsend.
What's up, Fight House fans? We're back. We got Adam Townsend on the line, freshly back from his trip to Russia. What's going on, Prime Time? Welcome back to the show for the 3rd time.
Number 3. I'm the only fighter to do 3 of these things. It's me.
So what's going on, man? How's everything? How you been?
Everything's great, man.
Good.
Everything's great.
Good.
Chilling. Been eating like a mother. Can I cuss?
What's that?
Can I cuss on the show? I forgot.
Yeah, don't worry. It's okay, man. No worries.
Okay.
There's worse tragedies in life, man.
Right. I can never remember which shows I can and cannot cuss on.
No, you just be you, man.
Before I drop a bunch of fucks and shit like that, you know what I mean?
No, man. You do what you have to do. We'll deal with that, man. You just be you.
All
right. You're fresh off your trip. Things didn't go quite as planned when you're for ACB 62. You ended up missing weight. What happened there, man? I don't think – is that the first time that's happened to you?
No, man, I missed weight 2 or 3 times. I think about 3 times total. I missed twice for RFA. I missed once by 0.2 scale calibration error, and I didn't fucking want to fix it. And then I tried to fight at 145. I got down to about 158. And I ended up having like a 24-hour, 48-hour stomach virus. I threw up like 47 times.
Oh, shit.
And then still fought that next day. But I missed weight tremendously. Then I missed weight over here in Russia. You know, there's a lot of excuses I could use, but the fact of the matter is I was kind of screwed around on my diet a little too much. I actually I ate super clean for about the last 16 days, but the weight just didn't come off like I wanted to. And then when I got to Russia, you know, I had like a 31-hour plane ride total time.
Right.
And I got to Russia and I couldn't find anything to eat at all. So for about 4 days straight, I really didn't eat hardly anything, which is something that I've not been doing my last few camps. I normally lose about 5 or 6, 7, 8 pounds my last 4 or 5 days because I eat very, very tiny meals. My metabolism burns like crazy, and I cut weight very quickly like that. And I think not eating was a part of it. I think not having distilled water to flush my system was another part of it. I think that the poor preparation, you know, leading up to, you know, not doing it soon enough was another issue of it. There's several issues, but the fact of the matter is I just fucking, you know, I dried up and I couldn't make the weight. So, that's, you know, it's all my fault.
Well, when you say you couldn't find food over there to eat, why not?
So, my breakfast consists of egg whites.
Right.
I eat egg. So I'll give you my meal for my meal plan for last week. I eat 4 egg whites, 3 egg whites, 1 whole egg, with like peppers and spinach.
Okay.
My next meal 3 hours later is a little bit of about 4 ounces of chicken with some broccoli. My next meal is 4 ounces of fish with zucchini and squash. Then my next meal is some more chicken with zucchini and squash. So I eat those meals, and I couldn't find those over there. They didn't have anything like that over there that I could like get people to comprehend at the hotel, restaurants down the street, on the plane especially. I didn't think it would be hard at all because when I fought in China, China was a lot more Americanized than the city that I was in Russia.
Right.
So it was easy for me to do that in China. And I thought it would be pretty much the same way. Like, hey, it'd be easy to find a place that serves, egg whites or stuff like that. And it wasn't the case. And had a super easy weight cut my last time in Denver because of that. Denver had all kinds of health food places and stuff like that. So, like I said, it was just a bunch of different things, but it just didn't work out the way it was supposed to. And
then, why were you how do things work over there when you're miss weight? Why weren't you able to maybe meet a middle ground or something with your opponent and get the fight on?
I'll give you the short, long version of the story.
Sure.
I weighed myself on Wednesday or Thursday morning.
Right.
Weighed myself on Thursday morning. I was 175 pounds.
Okay.
I didn't drink anything all day Thursday. So I had 20 pounds below. Well, 18 and a half with the allowance, and stuff like that they get.
Mm-hmm.
But 18 and a half pounds to lose. And I didn't drink any water. Normally I drink a whole gallon of water the day before weigh-in. So I didn't even drink any water that day, so it kind of made me even more dry than I was. And I was drinking normal water. And I normally drink 2 gallons of distilled water for 7 days. And they didn't have distilled water over there. It was just normal water. So it could have had tons of sodium in it or, anything. I don't know what I was drinking. It was just, gallons of regular, just some kind of aquifer water.
Okay.
But, so I messaged the promoter, or the Paul King, the guy that deals with me. I was like, hey, man, it's going to be hard for me to make 55. I was like, it may come off, it may not. I doubt it, but we can see. He's like, well, Shabili team is very weird, so we can't ask them anything about the weight. He's like, you'll just have to try to make it and go from there. I said, okay. So I lost 16 pounds that night at the sauna. Woke up the next day, went and got in the sauna, sat for 30 minutes, didn't even sweat. Got back in there for 10 minutes, didn't even sweat. And I'm talking about when Russia don't play no fucking games with their saunas. The sauna was 230 degrees. A normal American sauna is I think 180, 190.
Yeah.
These fucking saunas were scorchers, bro. And so then I tried to take a bath, still didn't lose no weight. So I had to weigh what I weighed. Well, of course, Shabili, the team and stuff, wasn't happy about it. So we negotiated practically from 9 that morning is when I had to weigh in, 7-8 hours that day, negotiating what I could weigh the next day because they were scared I was going to blow up, which I do. I was already 175 pounds 45 minutes after weigh-in before I even really got to talk with him and talk with their team. So I was already 175 pounds. I hadn't even ate anything yet. That was just from my IVs and my waters and my Gatorades and some juice that I drank.
Yeah.
So he basically wants me to weigh 170 pounds at 5 p.m. the next day.
Okay.
I didn't like that at all. I disagreed with it tremendously because, like I said, it was going to be hard for me to cut weight again and then perform. I started feeling a lot better. The more throughout the day, I thought feeling a lot better about it. And then I negotiated with him 50 different times. Let's do 172 at 12 p.m. Let's do 172 at 2 p.m. Let's do 174 at 10 a.m. Just negotiating back and forth. And every time, 40 fucking times, it was 170 at 5 p.m. Finally, I'm over it, and I just get pissed off, and it's 10 minutes before the official face-off weigh-in deal in front of the crowd. And I was like, screw it, I'll do 170 at 5 p.m. tomorrow at the fight. The commission didn't like it because they realized that, you don't have a lot of fluid. Right. Your brain fluid is the first fluid that goes when you lose weight and you dehydrate yourself. And that's the big problem with weight cut. It's not really hard on the other organs too, but that's the reason they moved weigh-ins to an earlier time for the UFC and for the big promotion is to allow fighters to, have more time to rehydrate their brain.
Sure.
So they realized that wasn't a good idea. But I said, fuck it, I'm fine with it, let's do it. So we get the weigh-ins. They tell Shabili, they walk up to him like, the fight's on. He's going to agree to the 170 pounds at 5 p.m. He immediately just shakes his head and says, no, that ain't happening. I'm like, and at this point, like, I was pumped because I done everything they asked, so I was going to get all my money.
Okay.
I was making $7,000 and $7,000 for this fight.
You're making what, sorry?
So, yeah. So I was pumped about it. So as soon as he says that, they come over and he says, no, he wants 167 pounds at 5 p.m. now. I was like, man, how's he going to change this? We've agreed to it. Like, and it's in text messages, like to 5 different people, to me, to Paul, to my coach, to Brian Lacey, to Cyrus. This is all in writing, like, through text messages and WhatsApp and stuff like that. And so basically, he says that stuff, and they let him do it. And they let him say the 167. So at this point, Lee, one of the commission guys from the UK, was like, that's not happening. You're not doing that shit. So it was not only me that even if I agreed to it, I wasn't allowed to do it anyway.
Yeah. So do you feel like this guy, did this happened, like he just didn't want to fight at this point?
Yeah, well, that's even what, like, I kind of got information, a little inside information from a certain person that believed that he didn't want to fight me, that's why he was making it so difficult on me, because anybody else would have just took 20, 30, 40%, because we offered him up to 40% of my check just so I could fight.
Yeah.
So after we offered him 40%, they was like, man, he's a little rich kid. He don't need money. Like, he's not worried about the money.
And how much were you saying you were getting for it? How much are you saying you were getting for the fight?
7 and 7 was what I was making.
7 and 7?
Yeah. So if I'd have made 14 and he got 40%, what is that? 4 times 14 is 28, 56. 5,600.
Yeah.
He could have got if I'd have won, So, it is what it is. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's 100% my fault for being unprofessional and not making the weight. But at the end of the day, the fight didn't happen because he didn't want the fight to happen and was scared.
So what happens now with ACB? What's your relationship like with now? Is it strained at all? Where do you go from here?
The talk that we had when I was picking up some of the money that they owed me for certain things, travel and stuff like that, when I was getting reimbursed for some of the things that I had to pay for, visa and costs and whatnot, they weren't happy about it. But, they told me I still had 3 fights with them. So, that was kind of that was that. And, I could still fight for them if I wanted to. But have you not seen my big announcement that I posted today?
I missed it today. I've been busy all day. I haven't even been on social media much today. What is it, man? Share it with me.
Do you want to get into that while we're at it?
What's that?
Do you want to go ahead and get into that?
Yeah, let's get into it. Absolutely.
So basically that I thought about it for months, and I had this cool shit that I was going to do after I won and get in there and take my gloves off and lay them in the cage and, retire from fighting, and it didn't get to happen that way. So I just had to make a lame video and post on Facebook that I, am officially quitting from fighting and want to try to do something different with my life and, spend time with my wife and my kids and, just be a normal husband and dad and try to make some money at a decent job and get a decent job.
You're gonna walk away from fighting?
Yes, sir.
What made you make that decision now?
Well, like I said, man, I've been thinking about this whole fight camp, and I just put things in perspective. Let's say I had 3 fights with ACB. I could make around $55,000 for those if I won 3 fights in a year. Great money, tremendous money. And that was all said and, fine and good and said and done. But, I'm just 28 years old, man, and I wake up every morning at 6 o'clock. I go run 2 or 3 miles, come home, get ready, go to work till 5 p.m., get off work, go to the gym, stay at the gym, driving, 30, 45 minutes to the gym, go there, spend 2-3 hours at the gym, drive back home, go to sleep, do it all again the next day. And that's my life. Been my life for 6 years, practically. Mm-hmm. And, not getting to see my kids, not getting to do things that I want to do. They ask me to go outside and play. I'm too tired. And, you know, at the end of the day, even if I could make that good money like I told you, or even if, you know, if I was to lose one of the fights in between, because the competition, you know, I'm at the point in my career now, the competition is fucking hard.
Sure.
So when I go and take these tough fights, there's a good chance of me losing decisions or, you know, getting beat or whatever. I still feel like I'm one of the best fighters on the planet, but at the same time, I'm realistic with all my goals and everything in the fight game, because this is a hard game to be in.
Sure.
So the more I think about it, 28 years old, living this small trailer about 5 years ago, got a 2007 car, and, you know, I've been doing this for 6 years. I don't have a lot to show for all the hard work that I put in and going to have to continue to put in, because for me, it's 110% or nothing. And, you know, the more I thought about it, the more that, you know, it just made sense for me to be able to hang up the gloves. And like I said, I've got opportunities to go get some pretty easy jobs, making some really good money, that some of my friends own some businesses and stuff like that. And it just, you know, made too much sense to me, man, to keep putting myself through all this hell and all this hard work and all this, you know, damage to my body and abuse for weight cutting and things like that to just keep doing it, man. It felt like it was just the right time for me to hang them up and, you know, try to do something while I'm still young and make some money and prepare myself for my future.
Man, this is a bombshell here, man. I'm part of me's a little sad, man. I've been following you just for a little bit now, but you quickly became one of my favorites, man. Is this hard for you to, like, is it leaving a bad taste in your mouth the way it's ending? I mean, you've had a lot of fights. You had a really decent career. You know, you got a great following. Yeah. Is it leaving a bad taste in your mouth that the way things went down in Russia, that's the way this would end?
Yeah, man. Like I said, brother, I was planning on, you know, taking them gloves off after the knockout victory and getting a big win bonus and a big finish bonus and a fight of the night bonus and one final good payday and leaving Russia with about $30,000 untaxed money. You know, that was my goal. That was my dream. And it does suck. And even when that happened, like, you know, I was like, after it happened, I was sitting and thought, I was like, man, well, maybe I shouldn't do it now. Maybe I should just wait. And because they wanted me to fight in California in July. And I was like, man, maybe I should just go ahead and wait, fight in July, and then do what I wanted to do, you know, make it official then. But like I said, man, like, you know, I'm just to the point where I know I'm going to miss it. I know for a fact, like, even like making that post, I even waited a couple of days longer than I wanted to make that post and stuff. But it was like, I just couldn't even. And I had an opportunity to fight in my hometown too on July the 7th, just in a boxing or a kickboxing fight to do, and they offered me that today. I was just like, nah, it's over. Like, I just want to be done with it, and, you know, be done with the training and the weight cuts and the abuse that I put to my body, and just, like I said, focus my time and energy on something that's going to better my future.
You know, I feel like when, you know, you come back from Russia, it's not obviously a pleasant experience. You go over there, you're dealing with all this, it doesn't work out. It's obviously not pleasant. But are you going to wake up in 3 weeks and be like, no, this can't end that way. Like, you know, I want one more, whether it's locally or whatever. I feel like it's really fresh, if that's the way to say it, you know? Like, is there any possibility that you're going to wake up in 3 weeks and be like, no, my career can't end like this. I need one more fight to go out proper. Is there a possibility that happens?
I mean, of course I'm going to, you know, doubt my decision. You doubt every decision, man, you know, and even making this decision, I had tons of doubts in it. Like I said, I planned on, you know, doing it Monday, and I had to wait till, what's today, Wednesday. I even waited till Wednesday to do it. So, you know, but like I said, this wasn't, I think a lot of people think that because of the whole Russia shit is why I done it, but it's truly not. Like I said, I had every intention to, you know, win this fight by knockout and still go out on top and make some money and lay my gloves in the round cage they had there and do it that way. That was my intentions. You know, I told my wife and wife's like, no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. I don't believe it. Whatever. I'm like, she was really the only one I told, her and my coach. And they was really the only two people that knew about it.
Right.
And my coach, he was like, man, if that's what you want to do, because he knows he didn't do the things that I've done as far as like the success I had and things like that, but he knows how it is, and he knows that he's in real estate now and he's doing good for himself and stuff like that. And I think a big thing for me too is just, you know, having to move away from here.
Yeah.
And, you know, where I live and get some good training to get myself to that next level and stuff like that. But I just couldn't, like I said, man, I love my family too much, and they mean too much to me. And my son's 9 years old now, and it just blows my mind that he's 9. And it feels like that, you know, I've really, there when he was little, we were so close, and we had such a, you know, great relationship and things like that. And now it's kind of pushed to the side because of, you know, all the fighting and being gone all the time and stuff like that. And me and my littlest one are super close like that now. And man, it's just like I said, you have reality checks sometimes, and this is one of them for me. And it's just, you know, I know I'm going to regret it. I know I'm going to miss it. But at the end of the day, you know, it feels more right than anything.
I have a ton of respect for that, man. I'm a family man myself. I have 2 children. We've talked about that before. You know, I coach Little League and all that with my 4-year-old, so I can certainly appreciate where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I have all the respect in the world for people that put their family before everything else. And I'll say this, man. I've enjoyed all your fights.
Thank you.
And if it's all the same with you, I'm going to put all this Russia bullshit aside, and I'm going to consider your last fight in my mind. I'm deleting all that, and I'm going to consider your last fight the one with Marcus Edwards where you came back with the dislocated rib. That's how Adam Townsend went out to me when people ask.
Yes, sir.
Man, if it was up to me, man, I'd want to see you take one more, man. I think you deserve it. But
yeah.
I completely understand, and I respect you a ton. And thank you for coming on and talking with us about us. You caught me way off guard with that one, man. I thought it was going to be like a fight announcement or something.
Yeah. They got a lot of people on guard, man. But like we were saying, man, this is it's such a selfish sport. You know, it truly is. You've got to be so selfish to do this sport, and I'm tired of being selfish, man. I'm ready to do more, and I appreciate you, you know, understanding, and you know, I'm glad that people are respecting it. Some people, you know, of course, like I said, like nobody really wants to see me quit fighting. I don't think, but you know, I'm glad for the people that respect it and understand. You know, I'm trying to better my life and better my family.
You know, this takes me back to the Rampage interview where Rampage said that, like, if he could go back, maybe he wouldn't have fought at all. You know, and it makes me think that, you know, maybe it's the perfect time for you, man, to walk away, and like it's almost like you're realizing something that he never had the chance to realize, and you know, it's obviously something that's best for you, man. So you know, anyone who appreciates others can respect that 100%. You know, during your time fighting, man, you've always been open with us. You've always been available. Every time I called you for an interview, you're like, yeah, no problem. So I want to thank you for that.
Yep. Like I said, man, let's you know, we can still keep in touch. I'm still a huge fight fan, man. I'm gonna watch that shit every weekend, like I always have, and continue to do it. So you know, let's get another interview up here sooner than later.
100%, man. We can have you back on the podcast just to shoot the shit about MMA, man. You know, and talk about it and break it down. So thank you, man, for giving us some of your time, and I really appreciate it. And we will definitely keep in touch, man. And yeah, all the best to you and your family, partner.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you having me on once again.
Absolutely. Have a good night, Adam. We'll talk soon.
You too, buddy. See you, man.
Later. Man.
Brutal.
That's a guy, like, honest to God, I've interviewed probably 100 people just in like, since we've been doing this or whatever. And before when, like, doing the website, not just through the podcast, but, like, just in general. That guy's one of my favorite people. No bullshit.
It's weird. Right now I have this weird feeling where it's just like I'm not sad, but at the same time it's just like it's like a mixed feeling where it's like I like to see again. I like to see he's an entertaining fighter. I'd love to see him fight again, but then you realize, like you just said, you're realizing that he's making the smart decision. Really, realistically, like you know what I mean. He might. I mean, who knows what his career could have ended up being, but. At the end of the day, if you look at if you're smart, if you're a man, especially a family man, and you're making that sacrifice, you're you're being realistic. You know what I mean? He's making the right decision. You know.
I'm. There's a lot of things swirling through my head right now. Now, part of me is.
I'm also thinking. I'm like he should have his own segment on the show. We should throw to him. We should make the fight picks.
And part of me, I'd love to have that. That'd be awesome. You no, like I'm sitting here going like I wish this guy would have got a shot at the UFC. Flipping deserved it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying like I hate the fact that this guy's career ended the way it ended in Russia with him not getting the fight and like missing weight. Like,
yeah,
I'd love to see this guy finish his career off in his home, like where he's competed most of his life, you know, and do the whole gloves in the ring. The guy deserves it. The guy's a soldier.
Yeah, but the amount of weight that he's talking about cutting in a matter of days is. It's obscene.
Part of me wonders if like he knew, like, you know what I'm saying, like with all this going on in your head that you know you're gonna leave, like if he just didn't have it in him.
Maybe that's why when he last interview he was talking about exploring and seeing other parts of the world. You know what I mean? That kind of felt, you kind of feel it. And he's like he's not looking for the fighting as much as he wants to go. He wants to travel. He wants to go. Wants to have his family with him and go experience things.
And I just wonder if it
live
was
his life.
Too much for him. You know, not too much for him. Like he's done it 21 times, right? So, but just, you know, like if he didn't just have it in him this time,
it's whether or not it's worth it.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like,
you're balancing it out.
I can't, you know.
Yeah.
Man,
you could talk about it for a while.
Jesus. Well, that was Adam Townsend. Came on, officially retired. I missed the social media post because I've been busy all day today. Man, hate to see that guy go. Well, it's another episode down, so we want to thank everybody for joining us. It's another week down.
Great interview either way. It was an awesome interview.
Awesome interview with Adam. You know, we had all the Dana White Contender series. We had plenty of the fighters on. We were talking to them about that situation. I enjoyed the show thoroughly. I'm leaving with a bit of but I did really enjoy the show.
Dana, you got to call him up. Call him, Dana. You got your little show now.
Right,
call up Adam and just make it happen. One last time. Come on.
That's right, Dana. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for joining us. It's another great week. Tune in next week. We got a whole ton of guests on next week, so stay tuned. And you're going to hear about it on our social media. Follow us. We are TFH Social. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on just about anywhere. Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. We're there. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. And we'll be back next week. Talk to you.
You are Jason Sutcliffe.
I am Jason Sutcliffe.
I think
see, I'm so bummed out, man.
Know.
I'm not even ending the show proproperly.
I think that's going to be the thing anyway. That's going to be our thing.
Right? So, yeah, it's me, Jason Sutcliffe, and I'm here with
Tristan Keddy.
And this is another week. Thanks for staying with us, guys.
Cheers.